pressing.
Okay, Caleb, I've been asked to try and respond to you, and I think you're right on the money, or putting the hammer on the nail, or whatever the right way of putting it is. As we see things at little old WPP, we would expect 2009 actually to be quite a difficult year. I don't think I would say that things necessarily will recover in 2009, but the first half is going to be pretty awful. Second half, I think, will be a little better. If I look at our budgets, the way we look at things at this time of the year, pretty much flat revenues for the year, but certainly the first half is tougher, and the second half gets a little bit better. All these things are relative, so first half to second half of 2009. I think I'd expect 2010 to be, in the real world at least, to be a little better. Here at Davos, if you take what people say here as being important or serious, it's certainly serious, or whether it's important or not, here what they're saying is they're being pretty gloomy, pretty pessimistic. I think that's pretty uniformly the case, and I would be identified as an optimist. Rubini, the economist, will probably be the most negative, talking about the latter part of 2010 as a recovery point in the real world, or maybe even later. The other thing I think you'll see is that the back half of 2009, the second half of 2009, will see a recovery in the financial markets. And that recovery will be sharper than people anticipate, because there's a lot of money on the sidelines. What do we have to do to get there? Well, I think the fiscal stimulus, the Keynesian stimulus, and people insist on calling it now, is so great. I think at our session with CNBC this morning, they were talking about as much as $8 trillion being injected into the U.S. economy alone, in one way or another. And the U.S. at $14 trillion is about 14 trillion out of about 32, 33 trillion around the world. So it's all depending on President Obama. We have high hopes. He's making very good noises and speedy noises about putting in a stimulation package, one that probably won't need increased taxes, as you identified, and will be investing in the right areas of technology and productivity and competitiveness. So I'm quite optimistic that we'll get that short-term stimulus. The US, I think, will recover. I think the big issue is Western Europe. France, Germany, Italy, and Spain, and the UK will have massive government deficits, possible increase in inflation and higher long-term interest rates, which won't be helpful. And here we are, having gone through a recession, being asked to lend more and spend more. And long-term, the solution is for us to save more, and for the faster-growing markets, the Brits and the next 11, to be spending more, because that's where the savings are, that's where the capital is, and that's where it will continue to be. So I'm not gloomy. I'm not as gloomy as most here, and I'm looking for a recovery in the early part of 2010 in the real world, and in the financial world in the back half of 2009.